Hi there, this is video SG8, and we are finally going to get to the point where we're going to graph an entire equation. At least I think we are. I think so. I think we can do that. Anyway, got everything we need. It's going to be beautiful. So I'm going to make up a random graph. So y is equal to 3 sine 2x plus 90 minus 4. Okay, I just picked some random numbers and let's see how it's now. It's up to you, but me, I want to think about this part. Oh, you know what? We can do this. Y is equal to a sine bx minus c plus d. Okay, so there's my amplitude. I know it's going to be from my middle to my top is going to be 3, so it's going to be taller than usual than my standard. This and this together. Basically, I take it as, you know what? It's not starting at 0. That's honestly what you have to know. If you want to get fancy, this tells me I'm going to have 2 cycles by 360. So it's going to be pretty squishy. And this tells me it's going to be starting in a weird spot. It's not going to start at 0. Again, if you want to get fancy, this means if this is a plus, I'm going to start on the negative side. And this is my midline. So I know it's going to be shifted down, be taller, and shift it, oh wait, shift it that way. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I gotcha. All right, so this is what we do. We're going to do the plotting. So start with the D values. It tells you where the new midline is. The midline is D units above or below the axis. So started this video a couple of times. I was like, gee, maybe I should have a graph paper. So it's the one time all year where I don't give you the graph paper with a nice axes on it because they won't work for you. So you know what? I don't know what my graph is going to look like for sure. So I'm just going to start it in the, sorry, that was awful. I'm just going to start it in the middle. And before I forget, I'm just going to write my equation here. So I have to keep flipping around. Y is equal to 3 sine 2x plus 90 minus 4. Okay, so we're going to start here with that. Yeah, we're good. That tells me my graph's going to start at -4. So I don't know. I'm going to kind of put my graph up here so I have lots of room. Like that. You can start every single one in the middle of the page and you'll be fine. I'm just trying to be lazy. So I know I need to get down to -4. So I'm going to go -1, 2. Don't make me stinky little graphs, please. Make them big enough so it's easy to see. I'm going to take my pen. And I'm going to label this midline. Once you get to the point where you've done a bunch of these, unless it specifically says you must label the midline, like with the word, you don't have to, but this is like round 1. So let's see what's going to say. Now what? Step 2, A is the next thing to plot. You count A up from the midline to show where the max will be. Draw a horizontal line. Now count A down from midline. Okay, so our A value, whoops, don't write it 3. Oh, show on the camera. There's A. So from here, I'm going to count up 3. So 1, 2, 3. So my maximum is going to be up here. And then I'm going to count 3 down. Oops, I better put some more numbers in here. -5. I wrote -7. And this is going to be my minimum. And I like colors. So I know, whoops, sorry. I don't know where my graph is going for sure, but I know that's as high as it's going to go. And this is as low as it's going to go. So it's bounded by those two things. And yeah, that's where my middle is going to be. I'm putting stuff on this side, so on the left side, because I'm pretty sure that my start is going to be somewhere negative here. 90% sure. So all I know right now, there's my top, there's my bottom. Check. Let's go back to the worksheet. Oh, now we got to do some work. So back in. So we've dealt with D, the middle. We've dealt with the amplitude. Now we have to figure out. Got that? Yeah, we're going to deal with B and C at exactly the same time. So we're going to find our start and we're going to find our end and whether it shifted or not. And we know all of those are not starting at 0 and 360 because it's messed up, right? Because we've got the 2x and the 90 in there. So we haven't done this before, so we're going to do some practice. So I'm going to ask you to be patient, and then we'll get back to our graph, and we'll actually do all, I lost my graph, it's underneath. We'll do all that work together on the graph paper. Okay, so you will deal with both B and C at the same time. You will calculate the start and end of the graph. This will account for the B, squishy, expanded graphs, a shorter period or cycle, or a longer period or cycle, and C, the different starting point. So that's a horizontal phase shift for you. All right, so our graph normally starts at 0. So make the expression equal to 0, or I don't know what the or is. I don't have another set of notes. I'm not sure where I'm going with that. Oh, well, we'll come back to it later. I'll figure out in a sec. Oh, if it's, by the way, if it's, okay. Or it could just be bx is equal to 0, or it could be bx minus c is equal to 0. That's where I was going. And the same thing here. We're going to make it the end. This is my normal end. And then we're going to solve for x, just like we did. So let's do some practice. Then we'll get back to that equation we were working on. And you might almost enjoy these equation solving because they're pretty straightforward. Okay, so 3x minus 90. So here's my equation that this is coming from. We're not going to do the whole graph. I guess I could have done these, but too late now. There's my start. I'm thinking maybe we'll graph these later. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I take the stuff in the brackets and I make it equal to 0, and then I solve my equation. And I wish I'd left myself more room. So I'm going to add 90 and add 90. So it's 3x is equal to 90. Move that to the other side. Then we're going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. X is equal to 30. And I'm going to remember to put a degrees on there because that's where my start is. And then we do exactly the same thing here. Plus 90, plus 90. So 3x is equal to 450. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X is equal to 150 degrees. Some of you would be quite happy to just take that on faith and say, yes, there is my start and there is my end. I'm paranoid, so let's just take a quick look. This, the 3x part, means my graph is shorter than 360. So if I'm starting at 30 and I'm going to 150, that's definitely shorter than 360, which is our normal one. But wait, if you want to get really fancy, if it starts there and goes to there, excuse me, that's 120 degrees, like the difference between them. Get 120 degrees 3 times by the time you get to 360. Anyway, I'll stop that. Oh, and also with the negative 90, that means I'm shifting to a positive start. But mostly you just need to get these. All right, let's do this one. So 6x plus 30 is 0. So I'm going to subtract 30, subtract 30. Oh, that's just a reminder. I'm going to fix up your notes so you've got a little more room. We're not starting at the very top there. So 6x is equal to negative 30 divided by 6 divided by 6. X is equal to minus 5 degrees. All right, 6x plus 30 minus 30 minus 30. 6x is equal to 330. Pause the video because I realize I don't have a calculator. Okay, I'm back. So 330 divided by 6, I think it's 85. No, it's really wrong, 55. Divided by 6, 6 is equal to. Okie dokie. I'm going to stop now. I would ask you to pause. Sorry, itchy nose. Pause the video. And oops. Do the next one. There. Please pause. So I'm going to take whatever's in my brackets. Oh, that by the way, that bracket's in the wrong spot. There's another mistake. Should go there, not up there. This is the part I want. So 0.2x minus 45. From my start, I make it equal to 0 because that's where the graph normally starts, and we're messing with it. I'm going to add 45 first. 0.2 is equal to 45. Divide by 0.2, divide by 0.2. Oops, I lost my x. There we go. X is equal to 45 divided by 0.2, 225 degrees. Okay, now we'll do it for the other one. 0.2x minus 45. Now we're going to, because at the end, we're going to have it equal to 360, because that, again, is where our standard one would end. So plus 45, 0.2x. Don't judge me. 360 plus 45, 405. Divided by 0.2. Woohoo! 202. Okay, so this is one of those examples where I don't think I'm going to ask you to graph that because it could be really big or kind of annoying to have to figure out the graphing. Hold on. Point. Oops. Divide by. Okay, maybe not so much. So one thing I've learned is when I do get these weird numbers, I take the smallest one and see if it divides into the big one. And this one does. And in fact, it goes 9 times. So if that's even, then this is often what I would use. I would start with 0 and then 225 and then 450 and then 625, 675. I would count by these. That it works like 90% of the time, rather than starting at 30 and counting all the way to there. I don't know what that would be, but it'd be a lot. This answer seems, besides having to graph it, a little bit ridiculous, but notice that 0.2x. Remember, if the number for b is smaller than 1, our graph gets expanded out. So 0.2 is going to be really, really long. So this is not ridiculous. Okay, page 2, page 2, page 2, page 2. Oh, I think, again, you should pause the video and try these on your own. Let's do it. I hope you did pause. So this is going to be x plus 45 is equal to 0, minus 45, minus 45. X is equal to minus. And we're done, right? Because there's no b value. So that's it. And x plus 45 is equal to 360, because that's my end, minus 45. Make that look like 5. Feel free to shout out at this point what the answer is, 350. Yep. All right, last one. Oh yeah, okay. I see why I did these questions. So this one doesn't have a b value, and this one, that's not c. Remember, for c, you need brackets, no c, but we do have a value for b. So that's why it's just 3x is equal to 0. So no brainer. X is equal to 0 degrees. Divided by 3, divided by 3. X is equal to, brain fart, 120. Now, this is just the extra paranoid mathematician. I want to see if this makes sense. So this says 3x. There's no there's no c value. So it should still be starting at 0. The math worked that out. But this says my period is going to be shorter than normal. So 120 makes sense. Now, this one up here had no b value. So it should be a 360, and we're just shifting back and forth. But wait, she says, how does this work? Well, if you think about it, minus 45, I'm just going to draw the sketch. So minus 45 is over here. And I don't know, 315 is over there. But if you go from 315 to 0, that's not surprising, 315. And then you have to go another 45 degrees. That's going to be the 360 that you need. Anyway, if that makes you scared, just be careful when you're calculating your start and your end, and you're going to be golden. Okay, so back to the work. Where is my graph? There it is. All right, so now we're going to do our graph. So I chose 2x plus 9. So this is what I have to work with. The stuff in the brackets. Whoops, sorry. Okay, I'm going to do my math. I know my max is there, so from here. So 2x plus 90. Whoops, let's say start. Because at some point, someone's going to look at this afterwards and go, what was she doing? Is equal to 0. Even you can put start equals to 0. Remind yourself, keep writing it. It's like doing spelling lessons over the years. Minus 90, minus 90. So 2x is equal to minus 90. Divided by 2, divided by 2. X is equal to minus 45 degrees. Okay, so I got my start. And I have my end. 2x plus 90 is equal to 360 minus 90 minus 90. X is equal to 270. And divide by 2, x is equal to 135 degrees. Okay, ta-da! There we go. So we're going to do this right. 0, 1. So when you do your graphing, these numbers should be on your x-axis. You can also put them down in your midline, but I'm going to do it right. I'm going to put them over my x, even though all of my graph is down here. It should still be up here. Those are some seriously weird numbers. So I'm going to do my cheat. 135, whoopsies. 135 divided by 45. Boom. Okay, so this divides into there evenly. So that means that this is probably a good division for the x-axis. And if that makes you scared, then you can always go like 10, 20, 30, 40. You can break it up wherever you want. But I'm going to try 45. It works, like I said, 90% of the time. So I need negative 45, so I'm going to use 2 spaces. And now this is the key. If I use 2 spaces there, then I go 2 spaces here. And then actually, I'm just going to mark every second like that. You can't go 2 spaces and then 3 spaces and then 1 space. It's not going to work. It has to be equal divisions. So this is 45. Oopsies. And 45 and 45. Another 45 is 90. And 90 and another 45 is 135. And this is going to be a really squishy graph. And that's okay. Possibly if I was doing this for Jody or I was handing it in and it was really important, I might have made it a little thicker, but we're good. Okay, so now I have my start is going to be here, and I'm going to draw that into this nice solid line, and then I'm going to go 135. Drop it in this nice solid line. And then can't remember what colors I was using on the other videos. Oh well, I'm good. Green. I'm in Saskatchewan. Green's the color. I'm going to outline this. And this reminds me that everything that's supposed to happen has to happen within that box. Okay, so my whole graph, up, down, middles and middles, all have to go in here. And for those of you that are wondering, of course, you don't have to do all the colored graphing and stuff that I do. I'm just looking for the answer. Okay, so now I want to divide this. Oh, I should see where my instructions are. That's not it. Hold on. Okay. Plot the start and end, check. Draw a vertical line to the start and end, check. Now we're going to divide the rectangle that we just colored into quarters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It almost always is 8. 2 boxes up there. So we're going to divide it into 4. It's going to be groups of 2. So there's 2 there, 2 there. 2 there. And conveniently, there's the numbers that we have up there. Okay. Don't care if those are. That means all the important stuff has to happen on these lines. The only other thing I want to just double check. This was a positive, so I know it's a roller coaster. Ooh, like that. If it was negative, it would go down first. So I'm going to start in the middle. And then I'm going to go up. Now I'm going to go up to there. And then I'm going to see, that's my first quarter. So at half, I'm going to be back in the middle. At 3/4, I'm down at the bottom. And then I'm back over here. I find if I middle, top, middle, bottom, middle, if I do that first, then I'm just playing connecting the dots. All right. And there we go. I just want to check in the sheet to see if there's anything else. So let's see if our answer, oh, I made it too big. Can't have both on, oh, wait. Okay, so let's go through, make sure we covered everything off. And I'm going to do it in order because it's easier. Make that black. Hold on. Oop, me over there. All right, first of all, we'll go in order. Why not? Okay, so A says that is my amplitude. So from my middle to my top should be 3. So 1, 2, 3. And going down, it should be 1, 2, 3. Check. Actually, even before that, look to see that your curve is symmetrical. I can't remember who it was, but somebody did one that looked like this. Right? No. Because they didn't have everything spaced out the same. So be careful. So that's about as wide as that. This is about as tall as that is. So we're good. Anyway, there's our 3. Now the 2, that's my B value. That says it's going to be compressed. So it should be less than 360. So I went from minus 45 to 135. I think that's 180. Sorry. My chair just gave way. That's kind of embarrassing. Anyway, okay, check. Now the plus 90 means it's going to start in the negative. Cool. It's not necessarily going to be at negative 90. It's just going to start negative. And then the negative 4 means it's centered around minus 4. I think that's enough for this video. Have a spectacular day, and I hope this helps you. There will be some more videos coming, and they'll just be questions and practice. All right, take care. Be good. Bye.